commence a new topic today in mathematics. We're still in on WAEC revision series, and now we're in chapter 3 using New General Mathematics as our reference textbook for the revision. In this topic, we'll be looking at linear and quadratic equations. Linear and quadratic equations. You expect to have lots of assignments, and then I'll just try to give you the fundamentals of some of these ideas, and I will trust that you will go back and solve them. So to get straight ahead to work, I know you have the basics of this topic, so I will just go in and then make emphasis where I need to make emphasis. So we'll start off our class by looking at exercise 3A. Exercise 3A is on page 16 of your textbook if we're using the same revised edition. And we'll be looking at question 1. Now, in question 1, you're required to solve by factorization. Solve by factorization method. Just to say that, by factorization method. I have noticed that students seem to run away from factorization. For reasons best known to them, they seem to want to run away from factorization. But factorization remains a core of how well you understand anything you will do in maths or quadratic equation. Now, I'll just pick a few of the questions, and the format will be, I'll trust that you go back and attempt them. Look at question 1A. It says 2x squared minus 9x equal to 0. 2x squared minus 9x equal to what? 0. How do you do that? This one is a straight one. You can factorize quickly here. X is common, and this will be 2x minus 9 equal to 0. And with your knowledge of quadratic equation, this will be x equal to 0, or what? 2x minus 9 equal to 0. At this point, x will be equal to 0, or what? X will be equal to what? 9 over what? 2. So you see that this one seems very straightforward, and you can easily solve that. I'll just pick different iterations of it. There are lots of questions. There are lots and lots of questions. Let me solve B. In question B, you have p squared minus 10p plus 25. Now, please, beyond just solving, there's something you need to do. You need to be able to identify things when you're solving quadratic. If you look at this, now, when you're giving quadratic, I tell students that there's an element of guesswork when you're solving maths. There is an element of guesswork. There's traits of try and error when you're solving maths. So you check. This is a perfect square, 25. 25 square, or rather, the square root of 25 is what? 5. The square root of what? 25 is what? 5. Now, 25 is 5. 5 plus 5, does it give me 10? Yes. So with that, this is what you're going to have. Sorry, equal to 0 minus b into a minus b. This will give me a into a minus b into a minus b, which will now give me a squared minus ab minus what? Ab plus what? B squared. Remember that when you multiply letters of the English alphabet, when you multiply them, they will always appear in the order of the letters of the English alphabet. So A must come before B. And with that, this will now give me what? A squared minus what? 2A. You just square this one. To get the second term, you just square this one. Is that not? So if you're going to solve to get this one now, find the square root of this is P. Find the square root of this is what? 5. Now, this is the sign you need to watch out for. If this is negative, then this one has to be negative. If this is positive, then this one has to be positive. If you add them, look at it, it says what? Minus 2ab. Minus 2ab. What is A? What is A? A in this setting is P. What is B? B in this setting is what? B in this setting is 5. So please take note of this. So that's why from there, P will be equal to 5 twice. So P will be equal to 5 twice. The first thing you need to do in a question like this is to write all to be equal to 0. So that will be 3b squared minus 31b minus 22 equal to 0. Now you take sum of factors minus 31b. The sum of factors will reside, it's always this middle term. And then the product of factors will be this times this, which will be what? Minus 66b squared. What do you do now? The next thing will be your factors. What are your factors? Factors essentially will be what? Two numbers you can multiply, such that when you multiply them, you get negative. So by this, it should be one will be negative, one will be positive. So the next thing you need to check is which one will be negative, which one will be, what will be the magnitude? The negative is bigger because my sum is negative. So this will be 33b times what? 2b. So I will fix this in. I'm going to have 3b squared minus 33b plus 2b minus 22 equal to 0. So I'll factor 3b out, and that will be b minus 11 plus 2 into b minus 11 equal to 0. So with that in place, I'm going to have that b minus 11 into 3b plus 2 will be equal to 0. So b will be equal to 11. Now take note, if this one is negative here, the answer must be positive. Or what? Look at this. This will be minus 2 over 3. Please remember that the essential narrative of this is not for me to begin to finish the problems up. It's expected that with the level of work you have done so far, you should be able to finish the problem from here. So if I'm able to generate the idea to this point, we expect that you should be able to finish them up. So you may need to watch our previous videos on this matter. Preferably maybe you get your grade 11 class. I treated this very well. I have lots of examples, but I exhausted the two full chapters on this aspect. So if you can get that video, it will also help you to understand the matter better. All right, so that's just one method. Now that's just one method. Let's take one more question from there. Let's take n. Or let's take n. In n, you have 12y equal to 3 into y squared into 3 into 3y squared plus 1. Now, I picked this question because of one unique feature I'm seeing in the question. Now, some students, when you want to solve this, you see some students will begin to expand this. No. You were taught a topic much earlier, which was called factorization. Finding factors, getting factors. If you look at this question very well, 3 can cancel. So you have what? 4y equal to 3y squared plus 1. Your responsibility every time you are solving problem is to draw from everything you have. To the factors will be essentially what? This. So the next thing we want to do is, what are the factors? What are the factors? Now, the factors will now be, look at it. If the product is positive, the two factors you will need will have the same sign. Anytime the product is positive, the two factors will have the same sign. So, but the confirmation now is this one, which is what? Negative also. So based on that, I know that both of them will be negative. So I'll feed that one in 3y squared minus 3y minus y plus 1 equal to 0. So this will now be what? 3y into y minus 1 minus 1 into y minus 1. Remember here that the objective is to make this and this the same. So this will now give me y minus 1 into 3y minus 1 equal to 0. So what's your final conclusion? You would have that y will be equal to 1 or 1 over 3. Remember, how did I get 1 over 3? This will be 3y equal to 1. And then you divide both sides by 3, and you have what? 3y equal to, y equal to 1 over 3.